right. Good morning, everyone. It's 8:30, and I would like to call the Economic Development Committee to order. Can we please have a roll call, Amy?
Chair LaPlante,
Here.
Vice Chair Galassi.
Here.
Member Rutledge.
Here.
Member Coburn.
Here.
Member Childress.
Yes.
And Member you.
Here.
Wonderful, thank you. I move to approve the minutes from our last Economic Development Committee meeting, which was held on February 20th.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, and we need a vote. Can you please call the roll again?
Sure. Chair LaPlante,
Aye.
Vice Chair Galassi.
Aye.
Member Rutledge.
Aye.
Member Coburn.
Aye.
Member Childress.
Yes.
And Member you.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. For our chairwoman remarks, I just filled with devils. Get it? Get it? It is a Hinsdale devil. Yeah, see? See? Yeah. Welcome to you devils from a committed hitter's mom, but hey, I'm a Hilltopper's mom. So we're always playing you guys. I'm so glad you're here. This is wonderful of Vice Chair Galassi to bring all of these students in. This is a fantastic way for you guys to see how and where the magic is made. I hope you're very impressed. I hope you take all of this back with you to your classes, to your teachers. And of course, I hope you all really thank Vice Chair Galassi for doing this. This is wonderful. So welcome. We're happy you're here. I won't be this nice when we meet you guys, on the field. But here it's a neutral zone, we'll call it. All right. I'm very excited to have Choose DuPage and Greg Bedeloff present today to give us a Choose DuPage update. They are one of our most valuable community partners. We rely on them heavily, and they do fantastic work in the county. So we're excited to get that update today. And with no further remarks for myself, do we have any public comments today?
We do not.
Wonderful. Okay, you're up, Mr. Bedeloff.
Thank you very much,
Choose DuPage.
Chair LaPlante and members of the Economic Development Committee. It's that time of year where we give you our scorecard from the previous year. So this is our 2023 scorecard for economic development, wins, losses, other opportunities. As I've been told by my staff, keep things brief. So we put a video together that we shared with our board, and I'm going to play the video. It goes over a lot of numbers and a lot of facts and a lot of the things that we did in 2023. And then I have a brief PowerPoint presentation that follows, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have following the video and the presentation.
Can you guys see?
Yeah.
If you can't, you can go stand over here.
Stand behind me, guys. Come
Yeah.
on. I need it. I need defense.
Surrounded by devils.
Mhm.
So what else is new?
Not exactly. He's comfortable. Would you like me to sing?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
That was a good answer.
I was gonna say, violin.
Yeah, you really don't want to. I'm here to serve.
Double sing. We have-
That would be serving.
Sorry, could you go back to the beginning? It started like a minute or so in. So again, I know a lot of figures and a lot of information was shared with that. I do have some PowerPoint slides that are going to do a little deeper dive into some of the information that you saw there. But I certainly don't want to bury the lead. And I think there's two leads that I really am excited to share with you. First, of course, is GSEP. You all agreed to partner with the city of Chicago and the 7 collar counties. I sent all of you an email which included the annual report where GSEP celebrated its first year anniversary. I serve as the chair of GSEP, along with, as I mentioned, the 7 collar counties and the city of Chicago. And our first year by any measurement has been just such a tremendous success, not only in terms of wins and collaboration and working with the city of Chicago and working with our collar counties on economic development opportunities, but also for the municipalities that comprise DuPage County. We now have access to more data and more information that can help local economic development agencies achieve their economic development goals. And I'm pleased to report that last night I was at the city of Darien's council meeting, and we developed a new program that we unveiled for the municipalities called our Municipal Analytics Program, or our Municipal Advantage Program, a MAP program. And it's designed to take this information that we now have available in terms of workforce, along with our friends at WorkNet, along with employment trends, along with available properties, share them with the local municipalities as part of our GSEP relationship, which you all agreed to fund for a 3-year period with ARPA money. But we all know ARPA money is going to run out, and we want to make sure that this is sustainable. So we're offering all of these enhanced services to local municipalities for $5,000 per year per municipality. And Darien did one of the kind of show of hands last night at their council meeting, and they're going to be the first municipality that jumps on board for our new municipal program. It's our intent to go across all of DuPage County and offer this to all the municipalities so that they can take advantage of the services and the opportunities that we now present to them. The second thing, you saw a lot of new projects in 2023. Last year when I was in front of you, we talked about over 3,000, you may remember, over 3,000 counties in the United States of America, and DuPage County ranking number 9 in terms of new projects. Site selection is out again this year, and they haven't done the county component yet, but they have done the metro area economic development scorecard. And I was just telling my board, you know, I'd like to use the Chicago Bulls as a kind of a analogy. When the Bulls won 3 straight championships, it was a dynasty. When they repeated the three-peat, it was unbelievable. The Chicagoland market was ranked by Site Selection Magazine as the number, and this award recognizes a $1 million private sector investment, 25 new jobs, 20,000 square feet of new development that's non-retail, or a corporate headquarters relocation. And for the 11th year in a row, the Chicagoland market ranked number 1. And that includes, that MSA includes DuPage County. So we will get the breakdown from Site Selection Magazine in the next month or two in terms of where these projects actually physically landed that they used to determine this award. But we're really proud of the fact that for the 11th year, we're number 1. So now going into a little more of the details behind this, if you can advance to the next slide, please. Proud that our public sector contributions continue to exceed our private sector contributions, as the pie chart explains. Next slide, please. And now a little bit more about our scorecard. So in 2022, we had 197 projects in DuPage. This year, 2023, we only had 101. You might say, what happened there? That is really 100% due to the cost of money in the development community. In 2022, interest rates were 3-4%, with interest rates in the commercial space now being 6 or 7%. It's just more difficult for developers to pull the trigger on a deal when they got used to 3% money. Those 101 projects created over 1,600 jobs, just short of 9 million square feet in new development, and a capital investment in DuPage County of just about $1.5 billion. Again, on the right-hand side is the criteria that we use to determine a project for DuPage County. Next slide, please. Our staff scorecard, we like to tell you what we're doing on a day in and day out basis. Obviously, the nuts and bolts of Choose DuPage is local business outreach and tracking, responding to RFIs, requests for information that come in from site selectors or consultants, identifying resources, and of course, our business attraction and marketing campaign. Next slide, please. So in 2023, the actual number closed, we were waiting, it's 102 meetings related to business retention and assistance. That is going out into the business community in DuPage, big businesses and small, big businesses, large businesses, working with them to see what the challenges are, what their needs are, how we can help them grow. This goes to things like Connect DuPage, Sustainable DuPage, and the programs that we run. Don't be alarmed by the 2020 number. That was COVID, and that was the Reinvest DuPage program that you all authorized for us to work with small businesses on grants. As you can see, the number has grown over the last 7 years or so. Next slide, please. Of greater importance in my mind is the business attraction meetings and the requests for information that we receive. This is new opportunities. This is businesses reaching out to us who want to do business in DuPage County for the very first time. I thought that that number would slow down dramatically this year. It has not. It's kind of at a pre-pandemic level. It's not at last year's. Again, that was attributable to the low cost of money, but we had 120 meetings working with businesses that we attended in person this year to talk with businesses about opening shop in DuPage County. Next slide, please. Just a highlight of some of the current projects that we're working on, and I really want to highlight this one. This is Cybridge Technologies. They're in Itasca. Their corporate headquarters are in Michigan, and they had big offices, about 100 jobs in the Fulton Market District in Chicago. They approached P33, which is an innovation center in the city of Chicago, emphasis on city of Chicago, and asked to meet with World Business Chicago, one of our partners in GSEP, because their Fulton Market location no longer met their needs. Put you in a time machine, take you back 5 years prior to GSEP. World Business Chicago would have worked with Cybridge Technologies. If they were not able to find a spot for them in the city of Chicago, they would have looked at Cybridge and said, we can't help you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. In this instance, they worked with Cybridge and said, we don't have anything that meets your needs here. Have you talked to our friends in DuPage County? This lead came to Choose DuPage from the city of Chicago, from World Business Chicago. We got involved. They landed in Itasca. They brought 50 jobs down from the state of Michigan. They took the 100 jobs from Fulton Market out to Itasca. We did an economic impact report because, quite frankly, I like to justify my existence to all of you. And this one deal created about $46 million in earnings for workers in DuPage County, just for one deal. This is an industrial manufacturer and distributor. So you might think, well, it's not a real sexy kind of office deal, but these are the jobs that build communities. And but for our relationship with GSEP and but for our relationship with the city of Chicago, I can tell you that this would not have happened. I told my board, I don't feel right taking 100% of the credit for this. This was a DuPage County deal done because of our relationship with GSEP in the city of Chicago. Next slide, please. Working, of course, with our friends at Endeavor, which for those of you who aren't familiar with the acronym soup of healthcare these days, that's Edward Elmhurst and their new Cardiovascular Institute, $70 million investment. Next slide, please. So those are just a couple of highlights. GSEP, as the annual report that I sent to you all, and I have hard copies if you're interested. This is our scorecard for our first year in terms of projects that we, the members of GSEP, got involved with, or we, the members of GSEP, touched in some way, shape, or form. And you can see over 8,500 jobs and about $715 million in new investment within the 7-county region and the city of Chicago. Next slide, please. As you know, the county empowered Choose DuPage to, I just wanted to touch on this. The county asked Choose DuPage to lead 2 feasibility studies, one for the performing arts, one for sports. I'm happy to report to you that phase 1 of both of those studies is complete. Phase 1 was to determine, per the county resolution with Choose DuPage, an existing inventory, an economic impact, and is there a there? Both, as I mentioned, phase 1 of both studies is complete, and I will be back in front of you next month to present the results of both of those studies. We're just polishing them up. We're making sure that the language is consistent, and our approach would be to present the results of the feasibility study to you all and determine whether or not the Economic Development Committee and ultimately the county board wants to proceed to phase 2, which would be, because I let a little bit of a cat out of the bag. There is a there. So the phase two would be where, when, how, who, operational, et cetera. But of course, as we told you when we took on the study, we thought it would be best to bifurcate the study, determine if there is a need or a desire or a there, and then advance to phase two. So that's where we're at right now with the feasibility studies. I figured you guys might have a question on that since it's been a while since we talked about it. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. And I didn't bring Lisa or Rita with me, so be
They're
kind to
online, but
be kind to me.
Member Rutledge has a question.
Thank you, Chair. Not really a question. This information is so refreshing to get as a county board member because social media is rife with, oh my God, Illinois is the worst state ever. We're leaving here. And so I'm just so happy to see really, really positive results. Well done.
Thank you very much. Part of our marketing strategy this year and kind of one of the pillars that we're building our marketing platform around for DuPage County and Northeastern Illinois is change the narrative. That is actually the title that we're giving it because 11 years in a row doesn't happen by accident. Working with Chicago, and believe me, I think some of you had pushed back a little bit about why do we want to work with Chicago? Shouldn't we be going into the city now and taking their business back out to the burbs like they did to us 10, 15 years ago? The proof is in the pudding. It's working gangbusters, and we're just super excited about what the future holds for GSEL.
Yes, member.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you just for the students, just give a quick 30 seconds of exactly what GSEP was and what was happening before GSEP started a year?
So I run economic development for DuPage County. My job is to try to bring new business to DuPage County and attract and retain existing business within DuPage County. It's part of an ecosystem, the local level, the county level, the state, incentives, working with businesses to convince them that DuPage County, you all know this, right? You live here. It's the greatest county in the United States.
Of course.
The city of Chicago has a version of Choose DuPage, Lake County, up north, Will County. They all have versions of economic development designed to bring new business into their region. For years, economic development was, we're going to target Chicago businesses and move them here, and Chicago's going to target our businesses and move them there. You guys may remember Hinsdale.
Yeah.
You guys may remember in Oak Brook, McDonald's Corporation moved from Oak Brook to downtown Chicago. Which if that's what McDonald's wanted to do as a corporation, that's fine. But then there were incentives put on top of it to convince a company to move 20 miles. Nobody bought a new car, nobody bought a new house, made for a good headline, but it was not an economic development win for the region. So we all got together and decided that's a dumb idea. Let's work regionally because businesses don't know where Hinsdale starts and Oak Brook stops. And they don't know where DuPage County begins and where Will County starts. So we decided to work regionally and stop poaching each other's businesses and work on a common brand and a common initiative to try to promote all of Northeastern Illinois. And as you can imagine, for those of you who are old enough to follow any of Chicago politics, getting something like that done is not easy. Sometimes Chicago doesn't like to play nice in the sandbox. So working together with the city of Chicago, we've now been able to achieve more from an economic development perspective than ever before.
Member you.
Thank you, Chair. You had stated before that, after 2 years, the ARPA money obviously runs out, and so you're really trying to keep GSEP sustainable. So I really, really appreciate the fact that you now have this pathway forward and that Darien is the first municipality to become a member. What do you think of the prospects of, having all the municipalities join?
Great question. Thank you for asking. Because again, as I mentioned to my board at our board meeting last week, we invited all the mayors from DuPage County and all the village managers from DuPage County to attend our board meeting last week. Never done that before. But we shared with them that our cost, DuPage County's cost to participate in GSEP is $127,000, not to exceed $127,500 per year. You all made a 3-year commitment to GSEP with ARPA funding. So told my board that 3 years from now, we want to continue to participate in GSEP. I certainly do. But from a funding perspective, the options are pretty straightforward. Come back to the county and ask for $127,000 out of the general fund. I know you guys like us, but I wasn't that excited about doing that. Go to my board members, who, as you know, write a check to participate in Choose DuPage. Wasn't that excited about doing that, or find a new revenue source. So with value for the municipalities. So 39-ish municipalities, either wholly located or partially located in DuPage County. My board actually thought I priced the product too cheap. They wanted $10,000. But my math was, I don't think we'll get all 39 of them on board. I figure we'll get about 25 to 30 of them on board. And that should fund it. Darien was there, West Chicago was there, Addison was there,
See who else?
Warrenville was
You
there.
There by.
At our board
Ready
meeting.
to, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
They attended.
They attended the board meeting. It was 100% positive feedback. I've spoken to a couple of other mayors since the board meeting, Glenn Ellen, Mark Franz called. Everybody wants on board who worked with Choose DuPage in the past, knows the value that we bring to their community. And remember it was really just designed to kind of do the math and say, if this is going to continue to cost us around 125 grand a year, I need 25 of you guys to commit to this. And if you do, we'll continue to support GSEP.
Yeah, and so I think the more managers and mayors that hear about it, that weren't in attendance, but hear about it from their colleagues at the next meeting.
Or
they're
their
gonna-
county board members,
Or
who
their
might
county-
mention to them
trust
next
me,
time
yeah.
you're meeting with
Yeah, but
your
really,
mayors, to mention to them that we,
yeah,
I went to the Darien Village Council meeting last night from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and once I have a presentation, if you will, on GSEP and on the MAP program, and it dives into a lot more detail. It's mostly software. We buy a software at Choose DuPage currently that we share with the county called CoStar, which gives you basically available properties. But there's so much more software that's out there right now that can be used for economic development that World Business Chicago pays for. And as a member of GSEP, we all get access to it. So GSEP and World Biz is willing to share that information. And Lisa knows this because she pays for some of the software as well. One piece of that software would cost the municipality $20,000. Period.
we will come back to you, but we have to ask others. Member Galassi has a
So
question.
when you said like we can talk to our mayors, it's the usage to get CoStar to find available properties. Can you just give me a couple other bullets of what are the other benefits?
Economic impact analysis. So many times when a business is selecting a local municipality, what do they ask for? An incentive. I'm thinking about moving my business into your town, but you got to give me a sales tax incentive. And the first question from the municipality is, what's in it for us? What's the economic impact if this deal lands in Hinsdale? We now have software that can do the economic impact analysis.
Okay,
Industry trends. And this is really important, not only for DuPage County, but for local municipalities. What does the market look like today versus what it looked like pre-pandemic? And as municipalities do their strategic planning and they have available property, they want to do comprehensive zoning. What should we be targeting? What should we be attracting? Lisa and I talk about this all the time. I have municipalities who have the corner of Main Street and Main Street, and I want a Trader Joe's. I want to be the king of England. Let's see who gets lucky first, right?
Well, actually, you might have a good chance of becoming.
But you can use the
Yeah, I might be
information
the new Kate Middleton.
to do
Okay.
market trends analysis. What businesses are looking in this trade area? Because what you want versus what the market is calling for might be two completely different things. And then a lot of the software sometimes we rely on Lisa and her group for workforce and other labor stuff specific to a zip code. I hate to keep bothering Lisa with that, so now we'll have an additional tool to help them with that. Another big one that's really cool is a software package called PitchBook for all these young folks in here. DuPage County is the second highest ranked county in the state of Illinois for venture capital and private equity funding. Who knew that? I certainly didn't know that. Now I know that, and I also know who the VC and the PE players are, so we can reach out to those venture capitalists when a business approaches me. Who gave me it was, member Chang Evans, who had a business that wanted to start up a new company. She had a friend who wanted to start up a new company, and this company didn't know where to go for venture capital funding. We now have that data available to us as well. It truly is, if you're talking to your mayors, just the fact that they can get this software for $5,000 when one piece of it, if they've purchased it, and they would probably only use it once during a year, it'd be such a better investment on their part to just come to Choose DuPage and join this program.
Also, just the stopping of the siloing between the different municipalities, correct? Like even the
Absolutely.
networking where they say, this is the project we're working on. Hey, we're interested in that too. Can we combine forces?
The Cybridge deal in Itasca
Exactly.
is putting Michigan residents who are transitioning into DuPage County hotels
Right.
in non-Itasca hotels.
Right,
So
right,
it's
right.
just, absolutely, it's a regional win. It really takes our game to a new level.
For sure, for sure.
Can you send us your presentation?
Sure.
We get that.
Yeah, of course, yes. Amy, can you do that? Thank you so much. Remember,
I'll do
you
it.
still
I
have,
can- I
oh,
can do
you
it,
got
Amy.
it? Okay, good, okay.
I
Another
just have a
question?
Do you plan on presenting to DMMC or do you feel that you've already done?
We already talked with Suzette, and we're trying to find a time on the calendar to present to DMMC. But if you, I didn't really intend on bringing this up. If you could talk to your mayors, we had hoped that we would get like 20 or 30 mayors to attend our board
Yeah,
meeting.
they should.
It would have been an opportunity to kill a lot of birds with one stone, pardon, poor metaphor,
hey.
pardon the bad metaphor.
Hey,
But yeah, what I'm finding is, I thought I priced it at a point where the managers could just say $5,000 is within my discretionary approval limits. Mayor Marchese and Darian said, I love it, but I want to make sure my board is on board with it. And we're willing to, I'll do the roadshow. I'll go to wherever to convince folks that it's the right thing to do.
any other questions?
Thank you for your support at Choose DuPage. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Greg. We appreciate Choose DuPage and everything that you do for us. Thank you so
Feasibility
much.
studies, next one.
Yes, we are very excited about the feasibility studies. We've been working very, very, very hard
Tell
on
you guys
that.
all about that after.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's very exciting. So, Greg mentioned something about finding new revenue sources. And I really believe, and I've been saying this since day one that I have been chairing this committee, is that that's our job. We're supposed to be out there looking for new revenue sources, using creative problem solving and new ideas to bring in new revenue sources. So that is basically the whole point behind these feasibility studies, is looking for new opportunities. You'll hear a lot about it. It's awesome. Okay, thank you so much again to Greg and Choose DuPage. Do we have any old business? Seeing none. Do we have any new business? Seeing none.
I know we're almost out of time. Lisa Shabak, could you just introduce your
Yeah.
branch and the fact that her sister is actually a teacher at Kinsale Central, so.
Oh, Yeah, don't hold it against me if anybody's had G and then whatever. She's been teaching there for a long time. I'm Lisa Shabak. I'm the Executive Director of WorkNet DuPage, which is located in Lyle. We're the county's Workforce Development Division, and I'm the head of that. I've been working for the county for over 20 years now. We're sort of the other side of the coin of what Greg was talking about. He's talking about economic development. You need to bring businesses into the county. You also need the workers and with the right skills, right, to work at all of those companies. So that's what we do. People that maybe are laid off from their job, people who maybe have never had a job before, young adults. We work with everybody across the county to make sure that they can identify what career is right for them, that they have the skills they need to succeed on that career path. And then we use federal grant dollars to support training costs for them and different associated costs. Is that pretty good in
That's
a?
perfect.
in
Yeah.
a-
Yeah.
30 second
That was
nutshell?
amazing.
Great
Yeah.
to see all you guys here.
Yes, thank you so much, Lisa. And you can go and tell her sister what an awesome job she
Does
does.
anyone have?
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Chandler?
Nobody?
Yeah, last
Oh, yeah, all
Okay,
right.
there you go. Okay, seeing no other new business, I move to adjourn this meeting.
So
and-
moved.
Okay, thank you
Second.
so much. See you all next
Thank
month.
you.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Greg.
everyone.